So in chapter 9, we talked a lot about the decision-making process, the different steps that are involved. So that's basically the gist of chapter 9. So for the first part, it is explain the decision-making process. So when you make a decision, there are multiple steps that you need to look through. Whatever For whatever reason you're making that decision, follow these steps to make sure you make the best decision possible. So step one is to recognize uh, like what the problem is or what the opportunity is. So basically, there can either be a problem that can be a reason why you're making a decision, or an opportunity that could be another reason why you're making a decision. So a problem would be something like goals aren't being met. So therefore, something would need to change. An opportunity could be something like, managers see potential things that could help exceed your goals. So you have to basically come down to like what the reasoning is for why you're making this decision. Step two is the diagnosis and analysis. So you're going to analyze the underlying causal factors. So you're going to ask yourself why you're making this decision, and find the root of the cause or the underlying problem. So that's basically the big thing, is why you're doing it. Next, we have the development of alternatives. Basically, you're going to develop possible alternative solutions that will respond to the needs of the situation and correct the underlying causes. So you don't want to have just one plan. You're going to want to have some backup plans, because not everything falls through the way you want it to. So making alternatives, developing those, is going to help out a lot. So step 4 would be selection of desired alternative. So you're going to choose the alternative that's going to work for you the most. There are some things that are more risky than other things, so you're going to try and choose the one that fits your company's best and looks out for their best interest and will help them along the way. There is risk propensity, which is the willingness to undertake risk in exchange for the opportunity of gaining an increased payoff. So are you going to be able to take that chance if it's a high risk, high reward situation? Step 5 is the implementation of a chosen alternative. The use of managerial, administrative, and persuasive abilities to ensure that the chosen alternative is carried out. So you're going to put that into effect. You're going to choose your plan, and then you're going to do it. Then step 6, evaluation and feedback. You're going to gather information on how well that decision was, how well it was performed, if it was even the right decision in the first place, and did it achieve the goals that you wanted it to. So those are the steps when it comes to the decision-making process. Next part is, let me get it here, compare both classical approach to decision making and the administrative approach. So the classical approach is based off of rational economic assumptions and manager beliefs about what ideal decision making should be. Basically, so there are assumptions. Decision maker operates to accomplish known goals. Problems are defined. Decision maker strives for certainty, gathers information. Results are therefore calculated. Criteria for evaluation of alternatives are known. You're going to select whatever one will help you the best, maximizes your return, and then the decision maker uses rational and logical way of thinking, to in turn maximize your return. Basically, the administrative model is the use of rational decision-making process with the limits of human and environmental factors. So the goals are often vague and conflicting. Managers often unaware of problems or opportunities. Rational procedures are not always used. Managers' searches for alternatives are limited, and most managers settle for satisficing. So basically, those are the two types of decision making, and sort of how they compare to each other. So the next part is even with extensive information, managers can still make bad decisions. What are some common causes for these bad decisions? So basically, you can have a good manager and have him make a poor decision. There are multiple steps when it comes to that, multiple reasons why. One of the big reasons is bias. So their own belief can get in the way of oh my god, can I find this? Their own belief can get in the way of the decision. So basically, something like there's a problem that occurs, and research and stuff suggests that it be held this way, but you know what? The manager thinks that it would be best done if it was done differently because their own beliefs. That's one way that it can be done. They think their way of doing it is better than how it might actually be suggested to do. This can be influenced by emotions, or being even overconfident sometimes. Sometimes you get that from managers. So basically, that's like seeing what you want to see your own way. A little bit of bias there. Next is being influenced by initial impressions. So anchoring bias occurs when we allow initial impressions, statistics, and estimates to act as anchors to our subsequent thoughts and judgments. So basically, what you see in the beginning isn't always going to be how it is later on. Sometimes people can think that way, they see it done a certain way at the beginning, and they stick by it or whatnot. Another way is justifying past decisions. A lot of times, something's done in the past and you think it should be done the exact same way, but this situation might be a little different. So there are ways to effectively make a decision, and you can help improve the decision making for managers. So basically, you start out with brainstorming. You can do it face to face in a group, and suggest as many ideas as possible to fix whatever problem you need. Next, you can use hard evidence. Basically, evidence-based decision making. Basically, with this, it's all about making a more informed decision based off of the facts that are there. So you're going to look in at all the facts that are there, take in everything, and build off of that. Try and make the best decision based off of the facts and the stats and things like that. Basically, there is you can do like a groupthink type deal. People in groups can be something basically it can be something that can actually hurt the company, in a sense that, sometimes they suppress other people's opinions or whatnot. So that's something that you should try to avoid, and engage in debates. Make sure there's group diversity. The devil's advocate, person assigned to the role of challenging the assumptions and assertions made by the group. So they're going to constantly challenge whatever they have to say. Why would this work? How would you do this? Things like that. So basically, those are different ways that you can help improve the decision making.